Reservation, ladies and gentlemen, isn't an issue just here in India. Our neighbor Bangladesh has been on the edge since the past 2 days after thousands of students armed with sticks and rocks clashed with the police in Dhaka. The confrontation led to 17 deaths, including students and a bus driver whose body reportedly was brought to a hospital with a bullet wound to his chest. Reports also suggest that hundreds have been injured as well in these protests. Mobile and internet services have been temporarily suspended by the government. The Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina-led Bangladesh government has now said it is ready to hold talks with the protesting students after the protesters called for a nationwide shutdown today. The Indian High Commission in Dhaka has also advised Indian nationals to avoid travel. But here's why the youth of Bangladesh are protesting. As is the case here in India, there are quotas in government jobs for certain categories in Bangladesh. Since 2018, out of the 56% quota for various categories, 30% is for family members of the 1971 Liberation War veterans. On the 5th of June this year, the Bangladesh Supreme Court ordered the overturning of this 2018 order, repealing all reservations, particularly the contentious 30% freedom fighters quota. However, the government hasn't completely withdrawn the quota system. Protesters are now demanding the removal of what they call discriminatory quotas from all grades, to limit the overall reservation to 5% for the backward populations as identified in the constitution of the country, and to pass a bill in the parliament for this, essentially removal of the quota for the veterans' family. Now, the protests, remember, are the biggest since Prime Minister Hasina was re-elected to a fourth term in office, coming amid high unemployment among the youth. To talk more on this, I'm joined by former Minister of Information of Bangladesh, Mr. Hassanul Haq Inu. His party is part of Prime Minister Hasina's government. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for joining us on Mirror Now. First of all, sir, lots of concerns that the students have. These are concerning visuals that have come out of Bangladesh. Why are the students protesting? What has been the major cause of concern for them?
Well, at the moment, they are on a movement to reform the quota system in the government jobs of the country. For your information, after the liberation of the country from 1972, the government has put forward a proposal of a quota system where certain handicapped and backward persons of the society are having quota facilities, including the freedom fighters. So in the last 50 years, certain times the government did amend the quota system. So at the moment, it is almost 56% of the total job. That is the position. But the scrapping of the quota system was put forward by the students in 2018. Then the government hurriedly scrapped the whole quota system. So that was the position as such today. Now, some persons went to the High Court against this decision of the government. And the High Court came with a decision that it is against the Constitution because in the Constitution, Clause 29(4), it is clearly written that whatever there is in the law, the government will frame laws to bring forward the backward masses, especially the women, children, indigenous peoples, and handicapped, like that. So according to the constitutional direction and provision, the High Court disagreed with the government decision of scrapping the whole quota system. So now the students said, since the quota system is being requested by the High Court to reinstall again, then they said that we are wanting a reform. So they went for a movement.
So, sir, then can I ask you, when the Supreme Court has stayed the 2018 order, why are the students still protesting? Why are they out on the streets? There have been, casualties as well. What is it that concerns them now?
Well, because the government has not come up with a clear administrative decision. That is why the students are protesting that why don't the government come with a clear administrative decisions, either by an administrative order or by a law of the parliament. So now, uh, today, the government, after this loss of lives and confrontation, the government law minister has come up with a proposal that, okay, we are for the reform, and they are eager to sit any moment with the students, activists.
Okay.
That's the latest position. And the student activists have just replied that we are not going to the dialogue table, but we will put forward a written proposal in writing to the government. So that is the latest positions. But the students have not postponed their movement as yet.